So this is the case. The name of the case is rebranding of police department. Actually, this is a real life case. We have around 3 years back, we have done a project with UP Police. Really, when the UP Police was very much interested to change its working. Uh, when Mr. O.P. Singh was the Director General of Police. So at that time, it was thought that the policing is to be changed. Initially, the policing style was reactive, means any crime occurs, then only some action would be there. Since he belong, and the concept of the Scotland Yard or NYPD is more towards the predictive policing, means they try to predict the crime or this type of situations beforehand, so that better policing can be done and better action can be taken. So this is a case that has been developed on one of that aspect. It is related to rebranding of the police department. As you know, rebranding means changing of logos, symbols, etc., to make them more efficient. So let me discuss the case. Police department is considering rebranding of one of its units vertical by altering its logo and other symbols to attract more of the peoples towards it. So the objective was to have more connect with the masses and giving them a perception of the welcome attitude. Right? Means police should not be treated differently. Police should be treated as a part of the society. So people have much faith upon them. They have several studies that reveal that people do generally recognize positively that the organization have taken rebranding exercise. So now what has been done? So the police department has surveyed 200 respondents through a questionnaire on the issues and perception of rebranding. So the first variable was liking for rebranded. It was obtained on a 7-point Likert scale. So this is the first thing that should be noticed, that the first variable is liking for the rebranded. This variable was obtained on a scale. The important one is scale, where 1 represents low liking and 7 represent high liking. And after that, rating, another important word is rating. Right? Another important word is rating. On 6 perceptual variables were also obtained on 7-point Likert scale. So on the other side, uh, we have 6 perceptual variables, means 6 perceptions are there. I will introduce these variables also. They are also measured, or they are also taken on a rating on a scale. Scale is 1 to 7, where 1 denotes low favor, means not much liking, and 7 means high favor or much liking. And the goal of the study was to learn which of these 6 perceptual variables were most important in influencing uh, the liking of the rebranded. Means some sort of relationship has been visualized in between these 6 perceptual variables and on the other side overall liking of the rebranded logo. And these 6 variables are: X1 is the departmental identity, means whether that logo is representing the concept of the department, means it is giving the impression of law and enforcement agency. X2 was improved visual, means the logo is being good and attractive. Third being youthfulness, means whether it is giving a modern, vibrant and young looking symbols. Next is no substantial change, means superficial. The fifth variable was emotional connect, means whether they consider that logo or that department as part of their life, society, and give them security feeling. And the sixth one is the image transformation, means it has changed the pre-existing image of that department. So these are the 6 variables. So we should discuss these variables. Let me have this whiteboard. So this is a whiteboard. So here we are mentioning the variables. The first variable that was overall liking. This was the first variable. Let us denote it by Y. So this variable is taken on a scale, means it has been measured. So it is a metric variable. And on the other side, we have 6 perceptual variables related to that logo. We have 6 perceptual variables, right, as it has been shown. And suppose these 6 variables has been denoted by x1, x2, x3, x4, x5, and 6. Again, they are also taken up on a scale, means they are metric in nature. Means on both the side, we are using the word rate. Rate simply means they are metric in nature. And a relationship has been visualized. And as you must have observed, the direction of this relationship is from these 6 perceptual variables to overall liking. Means these variables may have some impact on overall liking. They may not have also. Means a type of dependence relationship has been visualized. Right? So we can say that y is a function of x1, x2, x6. Right? And so this concept where we have a single variable y on one side and 6 variables on the other side, and the type of the relationship is dependence in nature. So we can denote this variable as dependent variable. So we have single dependent variable, and these variables can be denoted as independent variables. They can be denoted as independent variable. We can use different terminology also. Suppose these variables are said to be predictors, means they are used for the prediction purpose. So this variable can be said as response variable. In economics, normally we use the terminology as they are explanatory variable, means they are used to explain something, and this variable can be termed as explain. So these are the different terminologies that can be used, right? So this concept with this means here we have single dependent variable. We have single dependent variable, and you must have observed that this dependent variable is metric. So we have single dependent variable, and here we have one or more than one independent variable. In this case, we have 6 variables, and all these variables are metric in nature. So this relationship can be termed as regression or regression analysis, right? And suppose we assume this relationship to be linear to be start with, which is the most common relationship or dependence relationship that is termed as. So we are considering linear regression or linear regression analysis, right? The important thing is this dependence relationship is actually associative in nature. Right? What do we mean by associative relationship? Means these variables are associated. So we are considering this relationship. Now, since we are assuming linearity, so we can assume this model as y equals to beta 0. Right? These are the coefficients plus beta 1 x1 plus beta 2 x2, and finally we have 6th variable as beta 66, right? Means it has been visualized that this y is linearly associated with these variables x1, x2, x6. And there may be some other variables also which are not considered in this model or in this case. So they can be termed as epsilon or extraneous variable or extraneous external variable. So they can be termed as extraneous or random variable. They are also known as residual also, because they are not considered in the model. And this model is known as linear regression model, right? And since we have more than one variable, one is dependent, and more than one independent variable, and the total number of variables are more than 2, so this is better known as multiple linear regression model. We can have a special case also that is known as bivariate regression or simple linear regression, where we consider only one dependent variable or only one predictor. So this model can be written as y is equal to beta 0 plus beta 1 x1. Only one variable is there, and we have one more, that is the extraneous or random component. So this model is known as bivariate regression model or simple linear regression model. Right? So this is the model. So let us consider this model. These beta 0, beta 1, beta 6 are the regression coefficient that we will discuss in detail. Right? So they are known as coefficient. So these betas are coefficient. X1, X2, X6 are known. And we have to estimate this coefficient. Since we estimate this coefficient, so this part would be known. Right? And this part is known as regression part. Right? Or this is deterministic in nature. Deterministic means we know everything about that, right? It will be non-random, right? It can be said to be, it is non-random, means it is known with certainty. But now this part, epsilon, or the error component or the extraneous term, this is not known. So it would be probabilistic in nature or random in nature, stochastic in nature. So it is random. So this is not known. It is random, so it will follow some distribution. Now, why is sum of deterministic part and the random part? So obviously, random part would also have its role. So this y will also be random or probabilistic or stochastic in nature, right? Since this is random or probabilistic in nature, so we can never know exact value of y, right? Means we can say this is not a functional relationship, not a functional relationship. What do we mean by not a functional relationship? Means we cannot estimate exact value of y because here we have a random component also. So not a functional relationship means this relationship would be statistical in nature, right? So what do we mean by statistical in nature? Means we can only estimate average value of y. We can estimate only average value of y, that is denoted by expected value of y. Means we can estimate only the average value of y. We can never estimate the exact value of y. So this is a concept and very important concept. So let me share the slides. Right. So these are the slides related to linear regression analysis. Right. Again, if you have any problem, you can contact me on my email as well as on my phone. So this is, we are introducing the concept as we have discussed. This is known as dependence associative relationship. To analyze associative relationship between single dependent and single or multiple independent variable. If we have single independent variable, then this is known as simple or bivariate regression. And if we have multiple, means more than one independent variable, then that is known as multiple or multivariate regression, as we are discussing in the case. So we can say that simple or bivariate regression is a special case of multiple or multivariate regression. Important thing is the entire data. Entire data means y as well as all predictors, all variables should be metric. Metric means they should be measurable. Measurable means either they are on the interval scale or on the ratio scale, right? If they are, if independent variables are non-metric, means if they are categorical in nature, in this case we don't have any, then we have to make them, we have to transform them to metric variable, and it can be done using dummy variables. So if we introduce dummy variable, then we have dummy variable regression. So this is a model that we have discussed, that y and the error term, this is epsilon, this is the error term, are deterministic in nature. And here we have linearity with respect to regression coefficient, means linearity with respect to beta 0, beta 1, and so on. As I have mentioned, this is not a functional relationship. This is a statistical relationship. So only the average value of y can be estimated. Only the expected value of y can be estimated. We can never estimate exact value of y. And the most important thing is the objective of the regression analysis is just to establish associative relationship. Right? It is not to not to establish causal relationship. Means we can't say if there is substantial or significant regression, then we can't say that these independent variable are the causes of dependent variable. So this does not establish causal relationship, though it provides the necessary condition, right? So it provides the necessary condition for the causal relationship only, but not the sufficient condition. Since it does not provide the sufficient condition, so we can't say the regression model provides the causal relationship. In order to establish causal relationship, we have different different tools, like we can use randomized experiment, we can use Ganger causality test, or instrumentation variable. Right. So the first step is related to defining the objective of the regression model. Here we have two objectives. One objective is to provide prediction, means we try to predict the dependent variable or average value of the dependent variable. In the examples of data sciences or data analytics, here the main objective was to have such a model which have high prediction, high predictive accuracy. So here our main focus is on the prediction. On the other side, in all our researches, in all our researches as well as in statistics, we are more concerned with the explanation. Means if there, first we examine whether there is relationship or not, then we examine what are the reasons for that relationship, right? So we are more interested with the relationship between predictor and the predicted variable. Even in data sciences, this is important. So we will take up these two, right? It has been mentioned that this is not a statistical relationship. So then we move to the research design part. Since data has already been collected, so it has been taken care of. So one important thing is sample size should be large. The thumb rule is, this is the thumb rule. Why this is large? Because we are analyzing sample and we want to generalize the result. Right? So for that purpose, there should be substantial sample size. The rule is, the thumb rule is, there must be a ratio of 5:1. Means the sample size should be greater than 5 into number of predictors. So in this case, we have 6 predictors, means sample size must be greater than 30. But for a better analysis, for a better regression model estimation, it should be a ratio of 20:1. Means sample size should be 20 times number of predictors. Means sample size should be at least, we have 6 predictors, right? So sample size should be at least 120. And we are already having a sample size of 200. So it has been taken care of. I have mentioned dummy variables also, right? So now we will run the analysis and we will move back.